For more on this, we're joined tonight by Sourabh Gupta, policy specialist at the Institute for China-America Studies. Sourabh, nice to have you with us tonight. This story has taken on a culture. It changes by the hour. It's one volley back and forth. And tonight, there is a reaction from North Korea that they're ready to talk after the president's decision today. Unpack all of this for us. How serious is this that they will or will not meet?
It's obviously very disappointing and disturbing news. I was on your show just 2 days ago, and I said the chances of meeting was somewhere between 80% or 90%. Today, I will say that the chances of them not meeting on June 12th is 80 or 90%. Note, I'm not ruling this out entirely that it's 100% that they will not meet. But I think there are important issues that perhaps might need to be resolved between U.S. and North Korea with regard to their negotiations, which is manifesting itself in these harsh statements that both sides have made.
What is the next move for the president? Do you view this as they hadn't made enough progress to have a meeting, and it's just been a verbal volley back and forth of negative connotation after another? Or is this just a negotiating tool by the president trying to get the upper hand?
That's a really interesting and important point. You know, it could just be about, North Korea has been very upset with the strategic exercises and this talk of the Libya model. And so in the last week, it has shown a much harsher side of itself. But there might also be more deep-seated differences in terms of both sides not yet being able to arrive at a definition of denuclearization or the mechanics of denuclearization, which both must be resolved ideally before the two meet. And so in that respect, perhaps it's better if the summit does get postponed till they actually get to that point. But one just cannot say as to where matters stand. But there are, of course, this is very, very damaging news. And while there are some silver linings out here, silver linings that at least it's a forthright statement from Donald Trump that the North Koreans need to be straight shooters in what they can and cannot do or will and will not do, and that will help the negotiation rather than resorting to that sort of rhetoric. It is also very damaging because, if we really do have the perfect agreement even, much of North Korea's commitments will be front-loaded. And how is North Korea or anybody to trust Trump that after it meets its commitments in a perfect world, that Trump will follow through with his commitments? And so I think from that perspective, today's events have been very, very damaging.
So very damaging, as you say, for today. So what's the next best move for the United States if the United States does hold the upper hand, and militarily, certainly they do?
I wouldn't look that far out in terms of military confrontation or military escalation. What I will, in fact, be looking for in the next week or next 2 weeks is whether there is contact at senior administration level with senior North Korean ministers or functionaries of the regime. We have to understand this. About a week back, the regime actually blew off a meeting in Singapore with senior Americans traveling out there to discuss modalities related to the summit. They are due or were due to meet again this Saturday, this weekend. I don't know if they have already traveled to Singapore or not. We're talking Deputy National Security Advisor. Yeah. So I am looking forward to see if those meetings are going through, or even if that meeting does not happen, if there are further contacts over the next 2 weeks, because that will give a sign as to where the two parties are going. I would not necessarily see just the dark side of the situation right now. I think there's still possibilities and potentialities ahead.
All right. Sourabh Gupta, thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.